Hey, so this might be a long one. I don't know. I'm going to try to be as concise as possible, but I want to talk about what this spiritual awakening version 2.1 is turning out to be. And kind of, it's sort of like the next step from the realization that I had in December, which was that you're creating everything, like everything, you're creating all of it. I read that and I just instantly knew that it was true. I didn't know how to use it. I didn't really know what that meant. I suspected that that meant that I had control over basically anything in my life that was causing me pain or dissatisfaction. In that moment, I knew that I had control over that and that I would change all the things I didn't want. So I had like this moment, this very like blissful, I can't even explain it, where I just knew that everything was going to be more than okay. It was going to be exactly what I wanted it to be. But you know, again, I didn't know. It's like I had this vast puzzle laid out before me and I knew the solution, or not the solution. I knew the outcome, but I didn't know I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know how to solve the puzzle yet. And so that's basically what I've been working on nonstop, obsessively for the last 6 months. And Monday, I listened to this Bentino Mazzaro lecture, and I was driving around Monday night. I like to drive around every day. I go drive around for a couple hours, just trying to process whatever, I do something with that kind of meditative time. And I had this sort of, I don't know, insight. I suddenly realized that there's no actual reality. Like, I realized in a way the extent to which information coming in through my filter is skewed to the point that there is no reality. Like, it's only me. And the important part of that realization on Monday was that I instantly understood that my view of the past, and specifically my sort of human belief that the past is the best predictor of the future, or that the past is something to look to try to make sense of what will happen next, that does not jibe with being on the creative plane. That doesn't jibe with it's done. It's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. Like, it absolutely doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. I don't know if that made any sense or if I can even possibly explain this, but basically in that moment I realized fully, okay, I can actually have whatever I want. And whatever I want is actually true if I just think about what it is, connect to it, and say it's done. Sort of like what Neville talks about. Like, if I can connect to the feeling of the thing I want and then just be like, it's done, it will happen no matter what it is. And right away, and I haven't been thinking about Steve at all for like a month. I mean, it's like, it was Mother's Day, so whatever that is, like 6 or 7 weeks ago, that was the last time when we saw each other. And then, quickly that week after that was when I sort of just ducked out of the whole situation. And we haven't spoken since then. And over the last week or two, I've had a few thoughts that just sort of popped into my mind, like, wow, I can't believe that that's how this is gonna end. Like, I can't believe that after all of that, we're like not talking and we might never talk again. And I don't know. I've had a few really sad thoughts about that, but I was just like, you know what? It's better to just let it be. Monday, when I'm driving around and having these thoughts, I thought, okay, well, if I can have anything I want, I don't want that. And so I had some thoughts that, because Steve knows about this channel, I'm not going to share what they were, but I had some thoughts and I just said, okay, I get it. Like, it's done. This is the reality now. 30 minutes later, Steve texted me and said, I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking to you, but I really miss you. Here I am, whatever. Right. 30 minutes later. And true to form, I thought, can this be a coincidence? can that be a coincidence? Like, I just had this shift in mentality and this happened. And it's funny too, when I saw the text on my phone, when I looked down at my phone, I was driving, I saw the little like red one. I'm like, it's Steve. I know it's Steve. And it was. So that was the first weird thing that happened. And I didn't really want to talk about that stuff because that was just like the initial, but it was so fast and shocking that I wanted to just share it. I don't know where that whole thing's going to end up. Well, I do, but I don't want to talk about it until all the things that I have decided have happened. So after that, I pull over and I call my ex. And I'm like, Gene, we're like tight again. We're back to being, I don't know. And so we're talking about that. And I said, okay, this is like the most obvious proof of concept ever. Like, I just got this mentality just right today. Like, earlier I made the video today about, it's done and what that's felt like for me and how that's how I've always done things, and about how Bentino says that's like the advanced method. And I'm like already like an expert at that. So I'm like, okay, I just did it. I realized this stuff. I thought about Steve. I said it's done. 30 minutes later, there's a text. So I'm like, okay, here's what's happening next. This is so crazy. Here's what's happening next. First of all, the specific person I've mentioned on this channel. I'll get to that in a second. I'm like, first of all, that is done. Like, that's done. Second of all, my whole thing is I told you, like, I've told you, like, this channel, I've said on videos, I'm talking to you, YouTube. I told you that when I first started this channel, it got like a bunch of subscribers right away, which I wasn't even expecting. I hadn't thought about, like, there was no thought in my head of like having a regular YouTube channel. Like, that was not something that entered my mind. When I saw that, I said, oh, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to like make a YouTube channel. I'm just going to like keep doing this. And what the hell? I'm going to get 50,000 subscribers. That was my intention. It's done. I just had that thought once, done. Didn't think about it again. Didn't think about getting subscribers. Like, wasn't an intention that I thought about. So on the phone with my ex on Monday night, I said, by the way, fuck 50,000. I want 100,000. And I don't want to have to do anything to get it. I just want people to mention me on their channels. People are just going to find my channel and they're just going to talk about me on their channel. And that is how I'm going to get the whole 100,000. Okay, that was Monday night. Tuesday, during the day, I started, I had been thinking about Steve the night before. He texted. I was kind of freaking out about that, and then I was really tired, so I went to sleep like an hour later. Tuesday, I thought, okay, well, specific person that I've mentioned on this channel. Okay, I am his ideal woman, and he is just sitting around thinking about me. He's in love with me. He is totally regretting the way he was during our relationship. He has realized that I am the only one for him. He cannot stop thinking about me. Like, he's obsessed with me. All right, it's done. I went to bed at like 9 o'clock Tuesday night. I woke up yesterday morning and my specific person had texted me right after I went to sleep and said, I just drove by this bar we used to hang out at, and how are you doing? So nothing, that would reflect any of the stuff I said. Not that would be out of character for him to totally pretend. He's probably been feeling this way for months already. I've been getting texted by him like randomly here and there. I don't know why. And now all of a sudden these random texts seem very different to me, especially the one, there have been some things said in the last couple and I'm just like, this is already happening. And now it's going to, like, now I know it's going to. Okay. So that's why I didn't want to talk about this, because what if I'm wrong and it doesn't happen? I don't know. I look like an idiot, but that happened same day. Okay. But here's the really funny thing to me. the thing that I care about, well, I care about the Steve thing probably the most, but I care about this more than the specific person thing. Yesterday, Veronica Isles, who is the only person who has ever shared my channel or anything with her followers, she talked about me on her video, okay, which I didn't, until like last night, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together about the thing where I said I don't even want to have to do anything for it. I just want people to mention me on their channel, because okay, I mentioned in my video where I got 1,000 subscribers that I had a fleeting thought about Veronica in November. I don't really watch anybody's YouTube channels on here, like any of the big manifestation people. We're all talking about the same thing, and I am intimately familiar and experienced with all the stuff that they talk about. So I just don't really watch any of their stuff. But I did watch some stuff with Joseph Ally, and I'm pretty sure that's how I found Veronica. I watched a few of her videos. By the way, she has a way of, she's talking about the exact same stuff that I talk about here. And it's like, it's in different language. This is why I'm always like, listen to everybody. You know, somebody's going to be speaking your language. You should watch her channel. Her stuff is good. We had emailed. Okay, so I had a fleeting thought about her in November before I ever had a YouTube channel, before that was even like a thought in my mind, before I had this spiritual awakening. I had seen a video of hers. She said, it's a beautiful day in Chicago or something. I'm like, oh, she's in Chicago. We would totally be friends if we knew each other. And an image flashed in my mind of us having lunch together. And that was it. Just, I know we would be friends if we knew each other. She's the one that stumbles on my channel, which at the time had like 500 subscribers. I don't know. I don't even know how it was being recommended to people or how she found it, but she saw it and she like watched a bunch of videos. She mentioned me. And then we emailed about getting lunch. Like, and I think we should probably just do that before everybody like dies from coronavirus. So I was thinking about that on Tuesday. I kept thinking, you know, I got to email her. Like, we got to set this up. Like, I don't want to let this go. Plus I was thinking, God, I hope she like didn't think I was trying to blow her off or like whatever. I was starting to think I need to get in touch with her, because it's been like at least a month since we talked about that, and I don't want to seem like I wasn't interested in doing that. So anyway, all day Tuesday, I'm thinking that. And then she talks about that on her channel the next day. So it's like the lunch thing came up, the me manifesting her thing came up. And it was somebody mentioning me on their channel right after I said I don't want to have to do anything to get more subscribers to my channel. This all happened. It was, I don't know, it wasn't even 48 hours. Anyway, that's what's happened. And now for the analysis portion, I'm 13 minutes into this. I congratulate you if you are dedicated enough to continue watching this. Some things have become clear to me about the past doesn't exist insight that I had. And what that means in terms of how you respond to what's happening in your present 3D that is contrary to, that doesn't appear to belong in the timeline towards the thing you want. So, you know, when your specific person doesn't do what you want. Looking back on my specific person and the manifesting that I was trying to do with that in like December and January, which was very natural. My mind naturally went there. It was very easy to feel the scenes with him because I remember how he is, and you know, it was just easy to feel all this stuff. I didn't feel any resistance to it. And then when I spoke to him in February, that all went out the window. I did not in any way ignore 3D. I didn't like the way he was. I remembered what I didn't like about how he was with me instantly. And I had like my same old reactions that were stemming from things about myself that I had not examined and fixed yet, which I've done now. So that was important, actually. I'm glad it went down that way so that I got a chance to see where I was. But I didn't, I looked at the way he was during the conversations I had with him in February, and I just said, this dude's not, I didn't keep my focus on what I wanted it to be. I looked at what it was, and I based my judgment on what it was in that moment, heavily influenced by what it had been in the past. And I just said, I don't want this. Screw this. This was a waste of time. This was a waste of energy. I just want to be done with this, which I think is a valid, if you, I don't think there's anything wrong with dropping a person that you don't want to, that you don't continue to want. But the thing is, this insight on Monday, I realized that if you're going to do this with a person, if you're going to put your energy into manifesting a person, it's likely going to require you to ignore how they've been in the past and how they are right now for at least a while, because it's this connecting to this different reality of them. Connecting to that, there's the time lapse, there's the time lag, there's the moving through the parallel realities to that thing, to that reality. And if you drop it, the second you see something that looks like the old reality, it doesn't ever get there. That's what I realized about this. So I don't regret that I did that in February. And by the way, there's no, just because I dropped it in February doesn't mean I can't pick it up now if I want to. But I just realized over the last couple days from these text interactions that I had with Steve and with my specific person, especially with the specific person, you basically have to go, this version can just go to hell. And, you keep focusing on the reality that you have chosen. It's that simple. You choose the reality, it's done, and you continue to focus on it. This is what I suspect. I haven't seen this through from start to finish yet with anybody. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I have the staying power in this area to I don't know. I don't quite understand, I think, why people get so stuck on one person. It's really hard. I'm having to exert effort to continue to put my focus on this. Honestly, it was a lot easier for me to just, my mind went right to Steve when I started thinking of this, but I don't know for sure that I want a romantic relationship with Steve, so I don't know. Anyway, I suspect that the things I just said are the case, that the ignoring of the current reality is not necessarily ignoring the feelings that come up, because I personally have not reached an emotional level where I can just be a brick wall and no matter what someone says or does, I don't have any emotional internal reaction. That just, I don't know. I don't have that skill, if it's even possible. I felt very annoyed again at the interaction that I had with my specific person. Very annoyed. And I had a few moments in my conversation with Steve over the last few days, who just texted me in the middle of this video. I've had a few moments of having old feelings of kind of I don't know, the issues I have with Steve, I've had those emotions come up too in the last couple days. But the thing is, they just pass. This is the old version. This is the remnants of the previous reality that I selected. This is what I suspect. And in order to get to the new one, you just have to be whatever about the current 3D reality and know that it is done. You selected and it's done. This is really hard with people for me. I'm guessing it's really hard with people for most people. Just because this idea that other people have their own, free will or whatever, and that they could just decide that this isn't going to happen. When you look at it from the parallel realities explanation, you're just moving into a parallel reality where they genuinely are the way you want them to be. They genuinely want the things you want. And you do that by selecting it, by you do that by selecting it. You do that by connecting emotionally to the feeling of that reality, and then you know it's done. That's it. So I guess you can stay tuned and hear the updates about these two dudes, if there even are any. I'm not promising that I'm not going to drop them both, because what I really want overall, and what is really, really done, is the most fulfilling thing that I could want. That's done. That's been done since I first had this insight in December. I've just known it's done. I don't worry about it. I don't worry. I never think, what if I'm alone for the rest of my life? I never think I'm gonna have to settle for somebody with 6 kids, and I never ever think about that stuff anymore. I just don't. Like, the right thing for me, the perfect thing for me, whether it is one of my 2 creations or something new, it's a done deal. I don't worry about it. And that's the thing I really want. So I'm just gonna have to see how this all plays out. And you can see if I ever get 100,000 subscribers. That would be pretty wild. Anyway, that's my update for the last couple days. Thanks for staying tuned to my Spiritual Awakening TV.